So Dawn, I've noticed what I struggle with and what a lot of people struggle with is understanding the U.S. dollar versus the Dominican peso. How long did it take you to fully understand that the peso is compared to the USD?
What do you mean? I still don't understand. I still have to look.
All right, we all have to look all the time. And then the exchange rate changes daily. So
Yes.
right now, and it has been for quite a while, it's somewhere for USD, it's somewhere around 62 pesos. Sometimes it drops down to 61 and some change or a little bit above that. But sorry, right around 62 pesos equals $1. So that does make the math a little hard to do sometimes. So what we're going to do, since this is what people struggle with, we're going to show you the Dominican currency and how much it's worth and all of that stuff. All that stuff you need to know about Dominican currency right here. Okay, so first, Dawn, please demonstrate. This is a 2,000 peso bill. Usually you will not see these unless you are withdrawing money from the ATM or exchanging USD back for Dominican. Sometimes if you take in like a whole bunch of money to the exchange place. And we're going to do a video on how to use the ATM, where to go to get the best exchange rate on the ATM, and also how to exchange money. But this is your 2,000 peso bill. After that, we have a 500, but I accidentally spent it, so we can't show it to you. But here's what's important to remember. The 2,000 bill has people on one side and a building on the other side. That's going to become important when we look at the bills that are almost the same color. Okay, so the next one down is 1,000 pesos, and this one is very well used. Now this one is important to remember that the 1,000 peso bill has buildings on both sides, right? And it is, what would you call that color? Salmon?
Yeah, salmon.
If you want to be really precise, salmon or pink, pinkish, tangerine, something like that. On that side it's really pink, on the other side it's more tangerine looking. And it depends on how well worn it is too. Okay, next one down. Well, actually the 500 should have come after that, but anyway, so it was 2,000, 1,000. These are the bills you'll see most often. 500, which we don't have, which is green, and it really stands out. You always know when you have a 500 because it's green. Okay, and here's the 200. Now, this can get confused with the 1,000 because it's almost the same color, but 200 has people on one side, building on the other. The 1,000 has building on both sides. So if it's not all that bright outside or you didn't bring your reading glasses, that's how you can tell the difference. And the next one is the 100. It also has people on one side and a building on the other, and it is kind of orange. Yeah, what do you call that? Orange, more orange than anything else. And then after that is the 50 pesos. It's purple, so you can always see the 50 pesos easy peasy. It's really good to have a lot of hundreds and a lot of 50s on hand because a lot of times you want to tip in cash and you want to tip like 100 or maybe 150. You don't want to go the whole 200. So it's really good to try to collect as many small bills as possible. Okay, so now we're going to tell you how much each one of these bills is worth in USD. First of all you have to do to find out, like if you can't remember this, because I can't remember it, is if you're out and about, as long as you can get to an internet connection, you can just Google 2,000 DOP to USD, and it'll give you the answer right there.
And so, a lot of phones on the calculator now have
on the regular calculator on the phone.
For iPhones, I know that iPhones for sure have it.
Yeah, well, we just nasty old Android people. What do we know?
I love my Android.
I love my Android too because it matches my computer. Okay. So the 2,000 is worth how much in USD?
$31.93.
Okay. And the 1,000 is worth what?
$15.96.
That's the wrong one. See, you get them mixed up. That's why it's important to remember the 100 has people on it and the 1,000 has buildings. Because this one is actually orange and this one is pink, but when you're in a restaurant and it's not very bright out, you can't really tell them apart. So houses, 1,000, people, 100. How much did you say this was?
$15.96.
Today. It could be a little different tomorrow because it depends on what the exchange rate is. But the computer, and the internet's always up to date. 200.
Okay, and 500.
Oh, 500, because I don't have the bill, I accidentally spent it. Okay, go ahead.
500 is going to be $7.98.
Okay, that's a decent tip.
Definitely is.
I mean, if you really wanted to go above and beyond, the 500 tip would be great. Most of the time, the bill's $20. I love the bills at the restaurants where they show you what the USD is in addition to the DOP. That's always helpful, but sometimes they don't. So 200 is worth, 500 is worth $7 and something. 200 is worth
$3.19. $3.19.
So if you are tipping a 200 bill, you are tipping $3. That's important to remember. 100 is how much? $1.
Dollars.
Right. So when I'm trying to calculate in my head, because I don't do math that well, since the exchange rate's about 62, I just lower that to 50 and go like, yeah, it's $1.50-ish, right? For 100, because 62 would be, what'd you say? $1.20 something?
$1.60.
$1.60. Okay, anyway, that's the way I figured it out. Okay. And then 50 is
80 cents.
80 cents. So that's not much of a tip all by itself.
You give somebody that, you're just going to make them mad.
Yeah.
They're going to be upset.
Well, not really, because you know what? I mean, sometimes, yes, of course. There are those people who are just living and dying by their tips. I get that. But the Dominicans, for the most part, are like, no, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're so nice about it. When you say, I wanted to tip you, but I'm all out of cash, and they're like, don't worry, get it next time. You know, I mean, that's what I found anyway. Like, at least the places we go.
True.
And we go to all the cool places with the cool kids.